Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heartlines, and this is our space where we discuss everything relationship and love. And I'm your host, Franca. On the show with me today, I have a very funny combination. Jacinta Powell. Jacinta, are you there?
Hey, yes, I'm here.
Jacinta, your combination today with Chente is going to be mad. And we have Chente Okoli.
I was looking forward to it.
You know,
Hi
Chinta
Chente,
is my
guys, it's
guy.
nice
Chente,
to be
Chente, you
here.
said you were not available today. Immediately you saw Jess, you said, oh, you're available.
No, okay. So I was not actually available. I'm not in my space right now,
Okay.
but I just thought. I mean, Jess is here, so
Okay.
you gotta come on this show.
You know, Chinta is my guy. He's
I
my
know.
guy.
I
Yeah.
know. I know. When I was paying, I was like, I was not going to say anything to anybody. I'll just keep quiet and see what happens, how they react to it. Chete, how now?
Everything is fine. I'm good,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Chete, you get to go soon marry because we just dey involve you for marriage and parenting matter.
Hmm. As
Oh,
in,
the way we are involving you
God,
in
I
this.
beg you.
Okay, so tonight we're asking if age is a factor why people remain in toxic relationships. I don't know how that is, but I think in one way or the other, it plays a role, you know. So, Jacinta, what are your thoughts?
Mm, it's a very dicey one, to be honest, because
Okay.
when you say it's age, is it a factor for staying in toxic relationships? I'm trying to understand how exactly and what angle are we coming from, because
Okay.
don't forget, you're already in the marriage. So I would say that age is something that you consider before you get into the marriage. But now that you're already in the marriage, will age then allow you accept toxic behavior from your partner? So that's what I'm trying to understand. So I will look at it from the point of, is the marriage serving you? Because let's be honest, for every marriage, for every union, like I always tell you, it's a give and take situation. There's always a value attached to marriage, because why then are you getting married? You know, what's the purpose of marriage? You know, just like you say, you need a cup to drink tea. That's direct. That's what it serves. But what then can you say marriage in itself? What does it serve? It's a very critical question. It's not direct. You know, so if you're going to consider age and a marriage already toxic, why are you staying because of your age? Is it that you're scared of then leaving the marriage? Okay, maybe from that angle, leaving the marriage and you're maybe older and then you think you never find another partner. Okay, Jim, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that. Okay, that goes. Yeah, okay, all right. So I'm just looking at it now from a broader perspective, and I'm seeing reasons why people might want to stay because of age.
Okay.
But you know that definitely, I will definitely counter that as we keep going on in the conversation.
Okay.
But let's keep it simple now.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Trinity,
Yeah.
how about you? What are your thoughts?
Hmm. So, firstly, right, I think when I first saw this topic, I was like, what are my thoughts really? What are my thoughts, right? But I do believe that I think a lot of ages come with different or a lot of generations come with different beliefs, different ideologies. There are a lot of things, right? It's just like maybe a millennial marrying a Gen Z, right? Or or people that are around, let me say 60, 70, marrying a Gen Z. There are a lot of things that they would do to a Gen Z, and they'll be like, I don't deserve this because of these are two different generations. These are they've been trained differently. Their beliefs are different. Every single thing is different. So I do believe that if we're thinking about it, right, and we're thinking about the different things that this age group, grew up with, the different beliefs that they have, the different things that they are exposed to, right? I think we would say that age is actually a factor. It
Okay.
is. It
Okay.
is.
I agree
It
with you.
is. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I think that if you're married, I think your age kind of plays a major role because of what we have been taught as well. People don't want to get
Mm-hmm.
divorced at certain age. You see people, oh, you're asking you when you hear people get divorced after 40 years, you hear people saying Where is she going to? Why are they? Do you understand? Why she not just? You hear people saying all that, and they're asking, somebody is getting divorced at 65. What's she looking for? You know, and then that's for somebody who is older. But then for the young person, two ways. It's either she's saying, you know what, I'm too young for all this. I'm not going to take all this, you know. Or then she's saying, you know what, I'm still young. I still have time. Let me try this thing. Let me see how it works for another 5 years. That's an option. You know, let me just see.
Yes.
I'm 25. If by 30 this thing is still like this, then I can, you know, I can pack my bags and leave at 30. You know. So it depends on what the person wants. But yes, age is a major factor from, you know, from what I see around. Because I think this thing, how people say, when people say, oh, I still have time. For the Gen Zs, they feel they still have time. There are some who will say, you know what, I can get, anyway, Gen Z no one marry again. They prefer to be baby mama and baby, papa baby.
Don't let them hear you. They will drag you.
So let me, you know the way it's perception. So
Okay.
she might think that's what it is, but I'll say that I'll still come back to individuality. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because they say a lot of Gen Zs are very traditional, but you see the way that they are behaving. There's a perception about them that people think that obviously these ones don't want to get married again.
Okay.
But people are still, like we talked about the other time. People are trained differently. They have different values. They have different norms. But this is what the society wants us to see. So let me chip in on that and say I don't think age is a major, like you said, major factor in, being in an abusive relationship. I'll still say that what you're expected to gain, or what you think, or why you're there, or what the marriage is serving you is really the reason why people would be in a relationship, because of, in a toxic relationship. Because if I don't put myself, because I haven't been in a marriage before, I've not been married, nobody's ever hit me, I've never been in a toxic situation in my life, even let alone to even abuse me. So what I would say in general with people that I have spoken to, people that I have talked to, is age doesn't come. Age is not the main reason, neither is it even a factor that is well really taken into consideration when people are making decisions to leave a marriage or to stay in it. Yes, they'll say it, people, because we're used to just, we throw words around. Oh, I'm too young. Oh, let me just give it another try. Or where will I even go to? But I'm telling you that when it's time to make that decision itself, trust me, age is not the main criteria. I don't know if you understand what I'm coming from. I'm not saying that people don't consider that, but when you list the 5 things, yeah, it's not the age. You can say the age when they're coming into a marriage. You could say, okay, why do people get married? You can say, yes, age is one of the reasons, number 4 or 5, especially when she's older, okay? But to stay in a toxic relationship, it's not that important. So I don't know if you disagree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's okay. I would like to like share something and then we talk about it if that is okay, like really quickly, right?
That's
And
fine.
so this topic really resonated with me because recently, right, I had something like this that really like felt close to home, right? And so there's a relative who is around, the man is around 70 something, the wife is around maybe 65, and these people, like, they are not small. Do you understand? Like, they are elderly people, right? They've made all the money. They have children that are abroad, all over, everywhere. Do you understand? Like, their children are literally taking care of them now. And their divorce was finalized about a week ago, or about 2 weeks ago. And so, like, because it's like a relative thing, so the whole family is talking about it, right? And I was speaking with my parents about it. And, again, coming back to their own time or whatever they've been taught as at that point, they were on the side of, that as at this age, why would this woman fight for divorce? Why would she leave him? This woman is 65, for crying out loud, right? As at this age, why would she fight? This age that even though he's doing anything to you, you are eating the fruit of your labor, even though like he's outside there, that was what was coming out. And I was like, so where do you now draw the line? Right. And so to me, that felt like so much courage. Even as at this age, you're 60 something, where you have all the money, you have everything that you want to, your children are all over the place, but yet you still took that decision to like say, I'm no more doing, and I rather have my peace of mind to leave this man and find, even if it's to start again, I don't even care. But she took that decision, and it was bravery to me. But my parents, and then, they didn't really see it like that. And I kept wondering, like, they were like, now, as at this age, even if you wanted to leave, maybe if you had left when you were 30, because it didn't just start now, this has started since. So they were not like, why did you not leave that time? Why did you not leave when you were 30 something, when you were still younger, when he was at his peak? Why do you not leave? Why are you leaving now? And so a lot of people just have different opinions about it. But to me, what I really felt was, this is really, really bravery. Because as at this point, what are you? You are not making children. There is nothing that you are doing again. You are just meant to sit down and then just eat the fruit of your labor. But you still had the chance to leave. That
Yeah.
is bravery.
And if I
Okay,
may
so
add, yeah.
okay.
Okay.
No,
If I may
just
add, yeah, if I may add, I think that, you see, people don't like to address the main problems, because she leaving now, everybody's screaming and talking about the fact that, oh, wait to the fruit of your labor, or labor of the fruits, whatever it is. And they're just concerned about, your age. Oh, you're 65. But you see, they're missing, why did you finally leave?
Exactly.
What
After
brought you
all
to
these
that point?
years,
Yeah.
what
They made
pushed you to the
marriage an
point?
issue, and they refused to address the elephant in the room. They refuse, and that's how people are. If you notice, people like to dance around the things that don't matter, the mundane things most of the time. But they never get to the point of why.
Very
okay.
And that's
No,
what I'm trying
true.
to
no.
say.
So, but I don't think that's what the issue is. So, Jess. So what Chinte was saying is, or what Chinte said is, this guy hasn't changed. This guy has been the way he was or the way he is for
Yeah.
like 30, 40 years. And they're saying you have tolerated this thing for this long. Why are you leaving now that you really can't be bothered
Exactly.
about him? You can pack up a bag and go and stay with your children. You can pack up a bag and, you might not even see the man maybe for 6 months. You don't have to. That's what Chente
But
say everybody's.
Franca,
So what Chente, no, you
yes,
don't get my point. So they know there's an issue. Don't get me wrong. So they already know, but what they
yeah.
are saying, they don't want to address the issue because they've already divorced. Do you understand? But they are saying, this thing has been there. Oh. You should, if you left earlier, maybe we will understand that, oh, okay, you still wanted to do a few
Exactly.
things.
Why
You
is
still
it
wanted to.
now?
Why is it now that, it's not like you want to do anything. It's not like, but that's what
But
they're asking. You don't get
yeah,
it.
and
That's
what I'm
what they're
saying,
asking. But they
yes, and I
also
totally
know,
get it.
they
Yes, of
know
course
that
I
there's a
know.
problem.
Yes, of course I know that they know that there's always been a problem. Maybe he's a chronic cheat or whatever it is. There's been a problem all along. But I'm saying now that she has taken the decision finally, regardless of the fact that she stayed all these years. There's a reason why she has finally decided now, even if it's the same issue. Because let's be honest with you, yeah, people change in their lives over time. They change and they find themselves as they grow older. Maybe the cheating, I'm just saying, if that's the problem. Maybe to her, those years, she endured it for reasons, why. It could be children, whatever it is. What I'm trying to say is, yes, why didn't you just tolerate it now? Why are you still going ahead with it? And I'm saying that people don't address as of that time now. They just like to just stay, just be vague and focus on the things that don't really matter, which is like age, that's all I hear there. People are just talking about the age. Why now? Why now? It's not about why now.
I
What
know.
has brought you to this point? Why have you finalized? Why have you decided, now? Not why now because of your age. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It
So
should
let me
be
share a
about,
story. Okay, so
okay.
let me share a story. Similar story. So there's a couple that they have been married. The man, has been treating the lady anyhow. The man worked in an oil company, retired, luxury and everything. And this woman apparently has been tolerating the guy. So she said, after she left, she said she stayed because she knew that if she had left earlier, the man would allow her witness any of the children's wedding.
Oh, wow.
So she stayed till the last child got married. When the last child got married, she didn't have money to rent her apartment. It was her church members or somebody that gathered money for her to rent her apartment. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
But she left.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in her 60s. She left the marriage. So, and so people are saying, back a few years ago, I don't think any woman would want to leave at that point in time. A few years ago, people wouldn't want to leave. So now there's a lot of awareness and everything. People now say, you know what, my mental health, my happiness, my peace of mind is more important than every other thing. I don't want to die a sad person. I think that's why they are living even at 65, But the question here is, it's not like is age a major factor. I was saying, do people really stay in such marriages because of age? And the answer is yes. Personally, I think people stay in marriages, toxic marriages, because whether you like it or not, they're also thinking, So if we're going by statistics, it's just a few people that are aware and are bold enough to take certain decisions. Because at 60-something, you'll be asking yourself, because of what the society will say, you're asking yourself, if I don't have money to rent an apartment, what will people say? Do you understand? I have been living a particular lifestyle. I used to drive a car, and then I leave, to go somewhere where I can't even afford a car. That's a problem, And the truth is, back then, a lot of men used to do this so that the women don't leave. That's one of the reasons why they never empower their wives, so that they are not empowered enough, financially stable to leave. But now women are saying, you know what, damn it. If her children are grown, their kids, she has grown-up kids, then maybe they would come in one way or the other. But yes, I personally think that a few people stay, but with what's happening right now, I'm not even sure I'll stay till 65.
And right, and to complement what you actually said, right, and relating it back to my story, right, I think at the end of the day you can relate that, because people, like, the idea of everybody in the family speaking, is that at 60 something, what is there to gain? Like, where are you going to go to? The shame. People are going to say that you are leaving your husband's house at 60 something. Where do you want to go to? Even though you have all the money, are you not meant to balance in your husband's house? This is not the time to, like, prove your what they call it.
These are all nonsense. So
like prove it. Like, I'm here to stay. At the end of the day, the man has gone out. He has gone everywhere, but he still chose me at last. Like,
but guess what? No, but guess what? In all fairness, I would think that at old age, what you need is companionship. In all fairness. And at that age, will you actually find it?
Well, let's be honest now. You already lack it. You're in a toxic relationship. You already lack it. It's already equal to zero. Okay. The idea that you're saying, the idea is find companionship at an old age, but you clearly don't have it. Who are you deceiving? You don't have it.
Because I feel like at the end of the day, you are now at his grace.
Yes,
and what
because
I mean is that you are waiting for him to get to that point where you understand that, I've finished. Let me just come back to you, and so that we can be,
Let me tell you, and I'll say this, Chente, It is better to be alone and find happiness than be with somebody, that would make you cry or value yourself any less.
But guess what? She might not even be alone. Some young boys, they find all those
no
mamas
problem.
Right now.
That's why you're not alone. You can now hit the streets at 70 years old. No problem. Just make sure that you're on point. Your tummy is well tucked in. Everything's looking good. No problem. But first of all, my dear, listen, you see, I'm an advocate for, you need to be happy. This life is borrowed. You cannot follow what the society is saying. You will become like an animal caged for the rest of your life. And let me tell you, you can never find success or go beyond where you are in life if you don't make those changes that are very drastic and brutal.
True.
You will not die. Many people have done it, they've survived. If you die, no problem, all well and good. But you see, because one way or the other, we're going to leave this earth. Marriage is either divorce or death, which everybody used to go through one way or the other. I'm just trying to say is, listen, you owe it to yourself to be happy. If you have tried and you find out that, okay, it makes something about age. Most of the time, it's not because they're 65 and they're 70, that's why they're there. Is their self-depleting self-thoughts and self-awareness, everything has shrunk. Everything is
They don't
dead.
even know themselves. They don't even
They're
believe that they
gone.
even
Like the man
deserve
has
love.
either insulted them, emotionally abused, physically abused, mentally abused. That's what's holding them, not even their age. They have lost it. If they tell you, they kind of remember when they walked into the marriage and where they are at that point in time.
Oh my
It's not even
God.
the age. And I'll
That
tell
is
you,
it.
have you seen 70-year-old women who think they're still 25? It's all in the mind. It's not in the skin or how you look like. It's what you tell yourself, is who you are.
Oh, there's a
So let's
grandma
not
on social media. There's a very sweet grandma on social media that is always doing a lot. What very sexy grandma like that?
even look at the Europeans, look at the women. At 70, they're still marrying 18-year-old boys and 25-year-old boys. They're still looking sharp, like the girls down the streets. At the end of the day, it takes discipline, it takes who you are. So hiding under the covers of age. No, it's all the the things you tell yourself
I
to
think it's
restrain
called.
yourself.
It falls back to culture. I think again.
Yeah, of course,
Yes. Yes. Culture.
Franca,
Yeah.
we are in a this part of the world, yeah,
Also
we are
religion.
enslaved. Really, many things that
Yeah.
are
A lot of
enslaving us.
things. Yes. Many
Many.
things.
Let's be
But
honest.
but
It's
Chente.
right there, but
Okay.
okay.
No, Jacinta, continue.
No, no, it's okay. So go on,
Yeah.
it's fine.
So Chente, your the couple you were speaking about, what did their kids say about the divorce?
I mean, as at this point, you have tried to mediate. This is something that has been going on since. They know that their daddy is a serial abuser, they know all these things now. It's normal to them. So I think as at this point, you've mediated, and you're like, I want my mother to be finally happy. So if
Yeah.
living is going to make her happy, let her do it, for crying
So
out loud.
Let me share a very sensitive.
how come your parents
Okay.
don't see that?
So first of all, not just my parents. I'm talking about because again, right? Remember I said something about the generation, age group matters. What you've been taught matters. Imagine you've grown up in a place where you've been taught like it's an abomination for you to leave your husband's house. So when you are even newly married, talks about when you have been in that marriage for 40 something years, you are old. It's like shame, like you living there is like there's a lot of shame that will go with you. Do you understand? So that is what they are saying. That is what they are saying. That is what they are talking about. In fact, to themselves, that is what is even important. It's not that this woman has been in a place where she has been abused, where she has suffered, where she has been silenced. It is not that. It is the fact that what is she going to do? The shame that will follow her, the fact that she will be ostracized, all of those things are what is important. And I keep asking you, like, are you people thinking well? Like,
You had to
it's too
ask.
much. If I talk
You
about
you had to ask them if they are thinking well.
yes, I did. I was like, what is in your mind? At the point, it even made us. I was like, maybe no wonder you have been in this marriage and have been
Let me
doing.
share a story, yeah. Let me
Okay.
share a
Oh
story.
my
It's
god.
quite a sensitive one. It's also in the family.
Okay.
My cousin, so apparently my auntie had been going through physical abuse from her husband for a very long time, and she had spoken to the family, the elders, everyone, nobody consented to her leaving him or, divorcing, anything like that. So it all fell on deaf ears. So over the years, she had two kids, a boy and a girl. And one day, so the son had grown now, I think he was about 14 or 15. So the boy obviously grown in such an abusive environment. And then one day the whole, the commotion started and the dad obviously started beating the mom again and everything. Guess who stood for his mother?
The boy.
The boy. Yes, the 15-year-old boy. And guess what he did? He packed the mother's bags. Yeah? Called the auntie, brought her out of the house and told the mother to get into the auntie's car, that's the mother's sister, and put her bags in there and told her, don't you ever come back here. Till today, that woman never went back to her husband. And the son till today said he did the right thing for his mother. So
Nice.
imagine that kind of boy making such a decision at that age. After knowing, and he knew that the mother had tried every other means. He just said that, I knew I was to save my mother's savior because she had tried. He heard, nobody listened to her, but I have seen and I know, and I don't mind. It's better. Apparently, the father got upset, threw him out of the house. You know what I mean? He grew up with his mother's brother. But till today he never regrets that. And the mother remarried, and she's doing well.
Good.
She's doing well. Yes, she remarried. She's doing well. She's even helping. She's even taking care of the other ex-husband's bills. When they need it. What am I trying to say? It comes to a point where those who love you, who see that you're suffering, would side with you. And then forget about the society and what is expected of you. Is it until you're dead? That's when then even the society will not be there. They'll be battling with their own issues. And let's be honest, what is a healthy marriage as compared to what? So let's be honest, what is a healthy marriage? And what do you want to compare a healthy marriage to? Is it the photoshops, the photo shoots on Instagram, or the expensive trips? No, let's be honest, what is it? What is it? So I believe that marriage is between two people, and they have agreed one way or the other why they want to be in there. Marriage is an economy. I will keep saying it's on value. But a lot of time women don't. The women are the losing end of most of the time. That's why you see there's something called prenup. Women are the losing end in this part of the world. So that's why you see there's a lot of pain, and women are frustrated, angry because they didn't sign up. They didn't come in proper. They didn't have reasons to write. Why am I here? What is in it for me? Just like you have people who go for insurance. In case I die, I want people to be fine. Okay, what about in case the marriage falls apart? I want to be fine. They don't look at it that way. So until that happens, all the best, well, this is what it is. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that, so I think we actually have it all wrong. Someone shared a story with me about her sister being married. It was an abusive marriage, and the sister wanted to leave. And the girl's father said, lie. She kept saying, I need to leave. And I think the guy was so abusive to the point where she had to pack her things and she left the marriage. And then she kept telling her father to collect the bride price back. The father refused to, you understand, give back her bride price. So the lady now goes on Facebook and insults the father. She'll post and insult her father on Facebook, that her father is wicked. That's how bad it is. And I didn't read it on social media. It was the lady's sister that told me about it. So it just tells you how, I don't know why we hold on to this thing so much. Somebody is not happy, but you want the person to remain married. Somebody is not happy, you want the person, and there are cases where people have died, in toxic and abusive marriages. So I don't understand why anybody wants to be in that relationship. Is it that we lie to ourselves? Is it that we're saying it will get better? I don't know what it is, but let's quickly go on a break. When we get back, we'll understand why people stay in toxic marriages.
Stay tuned. Heartlines will be right back.
This season on Heartlines, we're committed to making a difference in people's lives. So Heartlines, in partnership with Reda Consult, is offering 12 free slots of counseling every quarter for people in need of professional counseling. Additionally, we're taking on 2 pro bono cases for individuals navigating a challenging divorce. To participate, please send an email to counsel@vedaconsult.com with your story. Our team will carefully review all submissions and will contact all the shortlisted candidates. Heartlines is live Mondays to Fridays at 10 p.m, so engage with us.
Thanks for staying with us on Heartlines.
Okay, so you can call in to join a conversation. Our lines are open 070-2500-7749 or 070-1424-2420. You can send us a WhatsApp message on 081-9038463. Okay, so I get that, Chinti, you have not been in a relationship, you've not been married before. But do you think that you would ever see your point? You would ever see, because we're always saying people leave, men also, you understand, stay in marriages for certain reasons. Do you think men will also stay in marriages because of their age?
So I cannot say about that, right? I can't really say about that. But one of the things that I know for sure that men even stay in abusive marriages or toxic marriages is because of the culture of shame.
How
It's
that?
because of shame.
How?
Hmm?
How is that?
Imagine, imagine a man comes outside on social media and say his wife is beating him. How would the public take it? When men have been known to be, the odogu of the family. Do you understand? Like, because at the end of the day, 80% of the time, it is men that perpetrate abuse, right? It is them that are the people that are doing the abuse. But we cannot say that men are not abused, because there are a lot of men that are also abused in marriages,
Yes,
right?
agreed.
Either verbally, either physically, right? And so there is already something about toxic masculinity. There's already a way society is already painting men to be like, right? That you can't be the weak one. And so even when men are even being abused in marriages, they stay, or they cannot even voice it out, because what are people going to say? He's a weak man. He cannot take charge. He cannot control his family. He cannot do that. And so they are silent, and they allow all of those things to keep going. So yeah,
Chente, please.
I know that
Chente,
the sorry.
Chente, please. I need you to actually expatiate. I need you to speak more on this. So are you saying that for for divorces, like 80% of divorces are from the women?
I didn't say that too.
I'm
I,
asking.
I was talking about abuse. I was talking
No,
about
no, no. You
abuse.
don't get my point. So
Okay.
for so people leave their marriages because it's toxic. There's an abuse of one sort or the other, of one form or the other. You get my point? So
Mm-hmm.
in my head, I would say that, men actually also want to divorce their wives
Yes.
sometimes. So, but if men do not divorce because of the stigma, that means they would hardly come out to say they want to divorce their wives. Because the
In
only
most cases,
reason a
yes.
man wants to divorce his wife is if the wife is cheating, right? A
Mm-hmm.
man will not divorce his wife because the wife doesn't have money. A man will not divorce the wife because the wife is, so it has to be something really, really bad. That's cheating,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe abuse, or certain other things, or a few other things. But basically cheating,
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, that means that if a man is not able to come out to say, I want to divorce my wife because she cheated, or I want to divorce my wife because she's abusing me, that means they will hardly come out, they would hardly divorce their wives.
Yeah. In
So
most
that
cases, right?
and so that
Yeah.
means that most of the divorces are by the women, are from the women.
I don't know whether that is statistically proven, but I would say that, right, there's a higher percentage of most divorce filings, right, coming from the women. There's a higher, there is a higher rate that most divorces come from the women. There is
Okay.
a higher rate, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the men who come out to say they want to divorce, do they ask them why you want to divorce and they say their wives are cheating?
That is between them and the court. I don't know. I'm not a divorce lawyer. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I
So,
don't.
but have you had but you're a marriage counselor, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So have you had cases where you counsel couples and the man comes out to say the wife is cheating or the wife is abusing him?
Actually, right? Actually, and Yes, in several cases, right? And then even saying that it is from a place of deep vulnerability, because a man would not, or the how would I say, the Nigerian man, the typical Nigerian man would not come to say that, or would not be vulnerable enough to say that my wife is actually abusing me. They would not. They wouldn't. So it comes from a place of deep vulnerability, right? It comes sometimes, you have to, he has to, like, you have to press and press and press and go, do a lot of sessions before they are kind of like really open and vulnerable to like share that type of stuff. Because first of all, they don't want to be seen as weak, right? They don't want to be seen as small, as being controlled, as being, do you get, like, so it happens, right? But before a man comes to share that kind of thing, it's from a place of deep vulnerability.
Okay. Okay. I get it. I get it. So goes back to say that a man would never leave a marriage, you know, because of age. If he cannot leave because the wife is cheating or because he's in a toxic, then he won't leave, He will just not leave. Not because it has nothing to do with age. It's more of ego.
Possibly. Ego. That's the word. Ego. Yeah. Ego.
Jacinta,
That's
do you
the
agree?
word.
Oh, men not leaving because of their age, more of ego. Yes, I guess I would agree because, like he rightly said, Chain said that men don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to be seen as weak, and this whole dominance culture is they have to act it. They have to be strong and look strong. So yes, and I would say that a lot of men, even when they say or they when they present their case to court and they say, "Oh, I have fallen out of love or irreconcilable differences," they might not really tell you that they're being abused, by their wives. They might just, give you an excuse and say, "Oh, I fell out of love," or "I'm not just in it." They just always cover up with something, but they just never would tell you that outrightly, like women would say, for everyone to hear, "Oh, he's beating me," and so much so. So yeah, I do agree.
So, but is it not funny how men are not able to take what they dish out, what they give?
That is it. Like, eat your own poison. But they can't.
So, because I
So
don't
listen
get
here,
it.
guys. So there's this theory I've been reading on that says that men dislike women.
I
And
agree.
yes, the men naturally, by nature and how they are formed biologically, they dislike women
I
and they
agree.
look for any way to put her down. It's a natural instinct for men. That's why you see a lot of men always trying to, dominate women. And that's why you see that you will see all this very, and okay, imagine a man beating a weaker species. You know that she cannot defend herself. You know that, but then yet you beat her to stupor, at the slightest opportunity. And so much, like we talked about, women mostly leaving their husbands and they can't even pay rent because men make sure that they withhold any sort of extra money just so that, they don't leave because they want to treat you badly, but they want to hold you down. So they take away, any some form of power, which is especially financial gains. And so much so, bringing women down at the first instance, talking her down, always equating her successes or her hard work to going the shortcut and so much more. So I've been listening to this, yeah, and I somewhat in that theory, I kind of tend to believe that this is so. So just I'm just bringing that up, with the question that you just asked, with men physically beating, their wives or their, or the women or talking because they can't do it to their fellow men. Why can't they do it to their fellow men? Why can't they just unprovoked just start beating or fighting? They can't. So why is there a need or why do they think that it's okay to start beating up somebody who you already know is weaker than you are? So I think that there's something there that needs to be studied, to finally get to understand why exactly this is the case because it is pitiful and it's shameful.
Yeah.
So
So
I
Jess,
think,
but
right?
okay, okay.
Okay. So I wouldn't say that men instinctively hate women, right, or dislike women, but I would say that I think is a conditioning thing. I
Mm.
really think is a conditioning thing because men have been taught to dislike femininity or anything that has to do with, you know, the feminine nature,
Please, can I
right?
add it? Yes, please, let me
Okay.
just add this. And I noticed that from my son.
Yeah.
When they see little girls and she's like, ah, he's like, what's all that? Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said to him, why? Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's like, why must she go like, ah, ah, ah? Like he just doesn't like it. And I said to him, why? So you're actually getting to a point with that.
But it is a conditioning thing. It
How
is a
does he get
conditioning
there?
thing. And see why I said it's a conditioning thing. Because as you grow up, you are being taught that being or expressing some form of femininity is a sign of weakness, which is where the toxic masculinity comes on. There's a culture of toxic masculinity, right? That
Yeah.
we see masculinity to be some form of way, right?
Aggression.
That there is no form of masculinity that involves a little bit of femininity. That is one of the reasons why men also do not like gay men.
Yeah.
That is why, because they express some form of, some form of femininity, and they do not like that because they've been taught that that in and of itself is something wrong, right? And so when somebody is growing up, you see that when they cry, they're like, "You're a man, stop crying." That is conditioning. That is how you start conditioning a man or a small boy to not do anything that is tagged as feminine. Because first of all, they like pink color. You're saying a man to not like the color pink. Pink is for women. And so what it communicates to their mind is that anything that has to do with femininity
Not
is
good.
weakness,
Yeah.
Okay,
should
Chintley.
be below me.
Okay, but
Okay.
Chintley, I kind of, I don't agree with you. Why I say that is, if men have been wired to not like men because they have a bit of femininity in them, how are men able to like the same men as partners? Because the guy who is
I don't
liking
know
the
whether I
guy,
should do some sexuality study there. I
no, but see, you know why
Okay.
I say that? Because a guy, whether you like it or not, the gay guy who is a guy is a guy. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? And he's
Mm-hmm.
liking a guy who behaves like a woman. So the fact that
But
he's a
that is
guy,
sexuality.
the fact that he's a guy, do you
Mm-hmm.
understand? And you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
guys, that's why guys don't like guys. He's not supposed to like a gay guy, the guy who behaves like a woman.
So to put that into context, that is why
Okay?
uh, straight guys do not like feminine guys. And first of all, like sexuality is quite different. It's a little bit broad. And I know that I can't touch on that, right? I've done a lot of studies on sexuality. I know, right, I can dissect it for you, right? But I think that it's important to understand. Like now I'm talking about the man who was like a man who is wired or being in an African home, right? You are taught not to express femininity. You are taught that being feminine is more like a sign of weakness. If you like the color pink, they'll beat you. You're not meant to do this. This is for women, right? That segregation, right, has caused men to feel like anything that has to do with feminine or femininity should be or is tagged as
To be
weak or
put
should be
down.
beneath me.
I get you.
Okay, so so what of the men with girls, just the same way they've said guys shouldn't like pink, women shouldn't take blue, right?
Can I come in there? Can I come in
Yes.
there? Okay,
Yes.
so okay, let me. I get where he's coming from in the sense that you see, when we're growing up, nobody told me not to wear blue. The
Mm-hmm.
preferred color was pink, of course, but my mother never saw me wear blue, and she said, "Don't go and wear blue. Take it off." So the thing is, you see, because I was trying to understand why my son behaved that way. I don't know where he saw it. Could be he watched it on TV or whatever, but he just felt irritated because she was being feminine. And you just why must she or why must she have so much bangers? Why must she, And I try to understand, and I get where it's coming from. You see, when you're growing up and things that are feminine are already looked upon as lower standard
Mm-hmm.
or not the way it should be, you might start to have that, and because the idea is to make you not like it. That's the idea. So you can
Yes,
reject it.
exactly.
And I think that rejection somewhere, somehow, in the brain or how they are
It's
wired,
now
I don't know.
wired.
It's
You are
not
now
wired to now.
conditioned.
Yes, maybe some. I'm not saying all men that not all men beat women, of course. I'm just saying that because some people no joke. So maybe it's wired in a way whereby some men hate women.
Okay, so
I'm
let me now,
telling you.
based on what you guys are analyzing here, same way, because girls are growing up, they're seeing how men can be very domineering, you understand, and all that. Women will start hating men.
True.
So it's
True,
not,
but
it's
we're
not
looking at it from a toxic relationship of being toxic to your
the
wife. If
same
we're looking at
way
it that
there
far.
are men, that's the same way there are women who will beat men.
Yeah, but we're looking at the percentage, the ratio.
You
You
don't
don't
get my
see
point. So
so
we're saying,
many.
no, you don't get my point. So we're saying, we know why I'm bringing this up. I'm trying to tell you that I don't want to hold this to that because because let's look at it. Even growing up, if a parent will never buy pink for their, it is not the child who is buying what they're going to wear. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
parents will never buy a pink for the boy and will never buy a blue for the girl.
So why?
That is the
Why?
parents. It
So
has
who
nothing
made
to do
it a
with it.
rule?
You don't get my point. It's not, but
Okay.
it's just, that's just what it is. That's what we met there. So the
No,
pink,
Conditioning.
it's just,
so that is the
you
thing.
don't get my
That
point.
is the
Tente, what we're
thing.
saying is, if that conditioning affects the male, it affects all genders, the
Of
man
course
and
it
the
does.
woman.
Of course it does.
It does affect all genders because you find out, like for example, my younger brother, I'm older than somebody who is older than my brother, my younger brother. But guess what? My brother is given more respect when it comes to traditional rights. Is that not supposed to get me upset? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So the same way, the way you're saying that, because anything can get you triggered. That's my point. So we have conditions that favors the guy, and we have conditions that favors the woman. So I don't think that's the reason why the straight guys don't like. And guess what? I can stand lesbians as well. Naturally. Do you understand? So it's not about the guy or the gender thing, because just the same way a straight guy will say, oh, I can't stand, I have nothing against them, don't get me wrong. But I'm not telling you to, I can't dictate what your sexuality is.
Are you
Get,
there?
you
Yeah, I'm
understand?
here.
I can't
Okay, I
dictate what your
think there's like a
sexuality
network
is.
issue or something.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what you should decide, but you just feel, just the same way guys will say, oh, I can't stand when a guy is touching me. Same way I can't stand when a baby is touching me and trying to get sexual with me. I can't stand it. Do you understand? I like men. Same way straight guys will tell you. So I don't want to, my point is, I don't want to take it to that point where it's about, this is why, I think the sexuality thing is completely different. That's what I think. But I might be wrong. Just what do you think? Because I think that everybody is subject to these things because we grew up knowing this. We grew up knowing that the man, you see women who are married to the typical Igbo man are frustrated because they don't have male children. Is that bad?
We lost you for a bit.
Sorry?
We
We
lost you.
lost you for a bit, so we
Okay.
didn't hear what.
So did you? Well, I said it's so bad that when you see women who are married and they're ready to kill themselves because they don't have male children. They subject the women to so much. You see men moving from place to place because they say, oh, my wife has only 4 girls. He doesn't have any boy that would inherit my things. Is that you subjecting women to a lot of things? And the women not supposed to hate the men for all that?
Yeah, but that's what I was trying to tell you about this study I was saying about men biologically, because you just gave a valid point. What we women have been through over the years, we could have as well, hate men.
Yes.
Don't forget, our nature is different, totally different from the masculine nature.
So
But men are, they're lacking somewhere there. They're very.
But you know that in the today's age, right? We see a lot of women hate men. Hate them to the point where I don't want anything to do with any man at all in my life. I don't even want them to come near me. I don't. So I mean, that may have already, informed their decision or their character to like. I don't want anything that has to do with any man. Do you understand? Like they want to build organizations,
If you
make it
look at
like
that, Chente,
women friendly.
I'll argue that there must be some sort of pain. Some sort of pain would have been generated for that lady to come to that position because you know why? Naturally, she's not wired that way. The conditioning of her of grooming was not wired that way. It must have been something that had happened over time as she put her foot down. But you're looking at it from the
So
perspective. I'm
for
not saying
women, it is something that has happened. Why for men, it is biological.
it's
I know,
conditioned.
agree. We go fight too.
They cray, you know.
Yes, I was going to say exactly the same thing Chente just said.
No,
But
but
Jess,
no,
so
like I
going
said,
back to your research or the
okay.
book you were reading, what did they say was the cause for the
You know
hatred?
what? I'm going to send you guys this link, and I would love you to watch it. So
Definitely, I
yes,
Okay.
this
will.
guy is a psychologist for many years, and
Okay.
he's talked about the brain functioning of men and the many you see the way men are logical. They lack the other aspect of women that are emotional. And according to him, he says that lacking the emotional, being lacking that ability to be emotional, that they don't like it. They believe that women, we are both emotional and logical in our reasoning. We multitask. We can do a whole lot of things. They see us as superior human beings. They
Okay, so
see us, and
from
that's
that
why
point
they're
of
trying to
view,
always pull us down. And by so doing, they have done it in different ways that are barbaric and so much more. They look at us as superior beings, and men feel inferior when they're next to women. And trust me, if you ask 10 men, 20 men, they'll tell you how do you know how a man cannot just walk up to a woman to even say hello. He can pee in his panties. Don't worry, talk about that some other time. Let's go there.
Chente, do you agree that men pee in their panties?
They can. They need all the guts. You see, if you look at how when they are small, when they're like 12, 13, 14, in their
Men
little,
that are
schoolies.
hunters, that they've been taught to go
Forget
after what
about
they want.
hunting. Animals, they hunt animals, not women. Women are just.
Whoa.
Okay,
But I'll send you guys. Trust me, I'll send it to you.
okay. Okay, so but Chente, so back to you, Chente. So you think that, there's a lot of problems. There's this problem with the wiring of, of men. Men have been deprived of so much. They were not allowed to form properly,
Exactly.
you know.
No, what I'm saying is it's a conditioning
Okay.
that we need to stop, right? It's a conditioning. I'm sure that men that were raised in societies where it's okay for a boy to wear pink, it's okay for a boy to express your emotions, it's okay for a boy to do this. They grew up and they do not have the same characteristics as a typical African man will have. Why? It's because of conditioning. How do you condition that boy? What are the things that you reinforce? What are the things that you see? It is conditioning, and that is what I believe it is.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, we have just 2 minutes. So back to what the conversation was. So we're saying that, yes, one of the factors why people stay in toxic relationship is age. We've agreed, about that. But there are other factors that also support the whole age thing. But basically, age is age is one of the factors that make people stay in toxic relationships. Chinta, you want to say anything, like a closing speech regarding that?
No, nothing on my end.
Okay. Jess, you want to say something?
Okay, so I'll just add, yes, age is obviously a factor, I believe, but I will still so I'll say this
Reiterate.
again. Yes, reiterate it and say that it is not, it is not, it's not like a major factor. You know why? Because age might seem as though it's more like a cover up, what people throw, to the wind. There are many reasons why that would happen. It could be financial reasons, it could be the fear of leaving, fear of the unknown, and so much more. And they can then use age as an excuse. Not to say that people don't consider that, but to me, I feel it's
Okay.
not a major,
Okay.
major
Okay,
factor.
that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so yes, so I think that we have, we all agree that age is one of the factors, why people stay in toxic relationship, in as much as there are other things. But that being said, if you're in a toxic relationship and you feel You're not. Don't allow age. Your happiness is very important. People should actually, do things that make them happy. And you live longer when you're in a good environment, where you're smiling, where you're happy. You create good memories. So again, we've come to the end of the show. Please, 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 please send emails to us. Our email address is counsel@vedaconsult.com. And like I said, we have people who would attend to you, regardless of what the problem is. See you tomorrow.
Bye.